So this is going to be a controversial topic, sort of. So, as you know, the Nintendo Switch has a lot of new games on it. But if you've been keeping up with all of the news, you will also know that there are a metric ass ton of ports. Port after port after port after port. And that started way back when the Switch first released in 2017. The first port we saw was Breath of the Wild. And I guess you can't really argue that because it came out on the same day as the Wii U. But it's still a port. Then the next big game for the Switch was Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. A port. And then the next big game was ARMS, which is fair enough, that's a new game. But it barely had any content, we released it like half finished. And now there's no more updates? That's so weird. And then the next game after that was Splatoon 2, which was heavily based off of Splatoon 1. It had the exact, some of the exact same stages, some of the exact same weapons. The hub world looks so identical, and it even had the same exact issue of having its frame rate being 30 FPS instead of 60. The story mode was structured the exact same, where you go from level to level in the kettles. New gimmicks, fair enough, but it was so similar that it didn't feel like a new game, and it felt like Splatoon 1.1. And it even had way worse music. The music in that game is just absolute garbage. So, and then this year, we barely have any new games either. In the new Nintendo Direct that we had, the Nintendo Direct Mini, the biggest games announced there was a port, and a port. Those ports being The World Ends With You, which is, I guess that's fair enough, that was a DS game, and it's more of a remake. But then we had Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition, a port of a game that already got ported to 3DS from the Wii U version. So we had that, and then we had Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, another port from the Wii U, and it comes out all the way in May. That comes out in May, a port. We have to wait that long. Then we're getting Bayonetta 1 and 2, a port, and I bet you there's some ports I'm forgetting about. But mainly, this discussion is all about why the hell are there so many ports on the Nintendo Switch? So let's get into this video. So there is barely new games in 2018. What have Nintendo been doing? So, games we should know about soon are Fire Emblem, Pokemon, and we know Metroid Prime 4 exists, but we're never going to see that until like 10 years. Yoshi's Yarn, it's not Yarn Yoshi, it's like some cardboard Yoshi game. Where is it? Where's that game? That game looked almost finished. Are they saving that for like winter or autumn? When are we going to see that game? Let's just discuss why I'm so annoyed with these ports in the first place. So, generally, ports for me are completely fine. I'm happy for ports to come out on the Nintendo Switch. I don't care. Port every single Wii U game you want onto the Switch. I don't care. Just don't treat these games as the next big game. That's just not fair. And I just don't understand why they have to do that. And if you are going to port, actually add a lot of new stuff to the game. Like, I thought Mario Kart 8 Deluxe was really lackluster. Like, if we got like 2 new cups there, like new racetracks, plus the battle mode, I would have been fine with it. But the fact that it was just a battle mode, and they had to use pretty much all pre-existing assets from the game 3 years after Mario Kart 8 came out, like, really? That's the best you could do, Nintendo? Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, just a tiny little upgrade from the original, and you're charging full price for it again, and that was your next big game, and you advertised it as the next big game. It's just not fair. It just blows my mind because I don't understand. 3 years. What have you been doing, Nintendo? What have you been doing? And I just want to discuss 2015 and 2016 because if you were a Wii U owner like I was, those were some depressing years to be a gamer on the Wii U. Where were the games? 2015 was a bit better because we had Splatoon and we had Mario Maker, but that was just about it. Oh yeah, we had Xenoblade as well, I guess. But that was just about it. And then 2016 we had oh my god, 2016 was garbage. All we had was Star Fox Zero, the worst Star Fox game ever made, and we had Mario and Sonic at the Rio Olympics with no dream events. Paper Mario Color Splash, which is a Sticker Star sequel. And what else? Tokyo Mirage Sessions. Really? Those were the games. That's all we had. 2016, that is all we had. So I just thought that Nintendo would have been like off in the back, like creating games, you know? I thought they had a big lineup planned for the Switch. But all they keep on doing is ports. All we're getting is ports, ports, ports. And if we had the new games to back them up, then I wouldn't mind. And one game I'm actually going to defend here is Bayonetta 1 and 2. Because we are getting those ports, yeah. But then they instantly announced Bayonetta 3. So they're like the backup to the new game. But the rest are just ports of just to be ports and just to flesh out the Switch library while we wait months on end for an actual new game. Like Wii U owners, I know it wasn't that big. 10 million still, I think it was like 10 million or something, right? The Wii U sold? I don't know, I'm not 100% sure. I probably should have checked this before. But people act like it's like nothing, but it's still a decent amount of people who bought the Wii U and bought all these games, and they're getting totally screwed over for the Switch because they're waiting months for new games. Unless they're super hardcore dedicated who will just buy any port Nintendo shits out, then it's just not fair. It's really not fair. I just wish Nintendo had the new games as well as the old games, and when porting the old games, adding new stuff to them, like Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. That's an amazing game on the Wii U. That's the best game on the Wii U, in my opinion. And what did they add to that? Funky Kong. Funky Kong, I can't even say that with a straight face. They added Funky Kong, who is just essentially an easy mode. That's all they added to Tropical Freeze. And I think they're charging full price for it. I think it's $60 for that game, just for adding an easy mode. Like, really? That's the best you could do? When did that game come out? I think that game came out in 2014 or 2000. I can't remember. But the fact is, it's been out for years, Nintendo. Why haven't you added more stuff to it? I just don't understand. And where are the new games? If you brought out basically nothing in 2015 and 2016, what have you been doing? Like, what have you actually been doing, Nintendo? You made Odyssey great. But what else did you do? Like, really? Nintendo, what have you done? And that's my biggest, like, just mind-baffling thing. What have Nintendo been doing for all these years when half of the Switch games are just ports? I bought Mario Kart 8 Deluxe because there were no other games on the Switch. There was nothing. And people are like, oh, there's so many games on the Switch. But they say that when any game gets announced on the Switch, if Meme Run, you know that game on the Wii U? Meme Run. If that game got announced on the Nintendo Switch, people would be like, oh my god, another Switch game, there's so many games on the Switch. They just accept any game. There's so much shovelware on the Nintendo Switch that it's just unbelievable. And people are fine with it. If this was the Wii U days, and all they did was ports, more ports, people would go apeshit. They would go mad. But because it's the Switch, they just suddenly let it go over their heads for no reason. Like, and the biggest argument people use here is that, oh, people didn't buy the Wii U, it gives those people a chance. Well, guess what? What if I didn't buy a PS4? Why did you give me a chance to put the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy on the Switch? No, it doesn't work like that. New console, new games. You can put ports on if you've got the new games to back them up. If you don't have the new games to back them up, then what's the point? It's such a pointless thing. The Nintendo Switch, for me right now, feels like a port machine. That's exactly what it feels like. I don't feel like I've just... Well, that's difficult to say because Breath of the Wild was pretty amazing to have portable. But it was on the Wii U, so it's like... Nintendo, E3 this year, please show us some new games. Because your E3 last year was just... For me, it just wasn't good. All they announced last year was they showed a Metroid Prime 4 logo. Wow. They showed words on Pokemon. Words. Wow, Nintendo. And they showed 2 2D platformers, Kirby and Yoshi. That's all we got. And then we got a new Odyssey trailer that was actually pretty good. I wrote out that. And I know Odyssey's a good game. Not my favorite, but it's good. So, Nintendo, please have the new games this year. Please don't release a new game every, like, 3 months like you did last year. Because that's what it felt like. It felt like we had to wait months and months for a new game. With ports blocking out, like, spacing out between the new games. It shouldn't be like that. Ports shouldn't be, like, a new, like, the next big game. Because that's what they're treating them as. They're treating the ports as the next big game on the Switch. Which is just bullshit. Like, it shouldn't be like that. It should be new games. New games and new games. And I probably sound like a whiny bitch right now, but like, this has just been annoying me so much. The fact that there's so many ports and people are just okay with it. Like, what are they gonna do when they run out of ports? What are they gonna go to next? Like, what are they gonna do? They're gonna die. So yeah, I'm getting pretty... Wow. I think I'm gonna stop the video here before I just get completely sidetracked. Let me know if you agree with me on this. The fact that there's so many ports. I'm fine with ports if they don't treat them as the next big game, like Nintendo are doing. That's what I don't like about these ports. Am I expecting too much? Maybe, but at the same time, Nintendo gave us crap in 2015 and 16. What have they been working on? But with all that said, make sure to follow me on Twitter. The link will be in the description below. Make sure to subscribe for more videos like this. I discuss Nintendo, as you can see. I discuss Sonic the Hedgehog, and I just discuss video games in general. But with all that out of the way, thank you all for watching, and I'll definitely make sure to catch you all later.